Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. And today I wanted to talk about the benefits of being single, how it is a gift. And what I've noticed in society is that there seems to be this societal pressure, you know, to get into your first ever relationship by 16, to find and be married to the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams by 25, for example. And if that hasn't happened for you yet, or if you are still single after the age of 25, for example, whether you've been in a relationship or relationships before or not, especially as you're approaching 30, even 40 or over, and you find yourself still single, especially unmarried with children, it's like society, especially maybe your circle or your peers, your family, start to look at you as if you have two heads, as if, there's something wrong with you, or it's too late, you should have done X, Y, and Z before this age. And then they start to compare you to, you know, your friends or your family members or your peers, and also, if you look on social media, especially on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, especially if you're into pop culture or you're looking at celebrities, you see that, all these people, they're in relationships and it's glamorized and they're married with children. And if that hasn't happened for you yet, you start to compare yourself. You might even start to feel a little jealous. I just wanted to say that it's so important to go at your own pace with anything in life. It's not just, concerning your love life. You know, it's better to go at your own pace. That way, you're not rushing and therefore you get to avoid settling. I see so many people who they didn't want to be the only one still single. They didn't want to be the only one still unmarried with no children. And then what happens is you end up going for someone that you know in your heart is not for you. You didn't want to be with this person, but because you didn't want to be left behind, you go and get into a relationship with someone you have no business getting into a relationship with. And then what happens is you end up suffering behind closed doors, on social media or amongst your circle or in the community. It seems like you have everything together. You have the spouse, you have the children, you have the career, the dream home. But behind closed doors, you're not happy. You're not where you want to be, especially in your love life. You get this feeling of, I could have done better. And it's not to say that the person that you're with could be a horrible person or could treat you terribly. It's just settling is not just going after someone who is abusing you or someone who like doesn't respect you. It could be that the person that you're with ticks all the boxes when it comes to respect and love, but your purposes don't align, your core values don't align. Like, let's just say you're a very spiritual person, you're a very religious person, and this person doesn't care about that. Or you're into something regarding politics or something like that, and this person doesn't care about conversation about politics. Settling is not just you're with someone who treats you bad. Like I said, it could be that their vision and their purpose for their life doesn't align with your vision and your purpose for your life. And that's also settling. But in certain communities that we come from, certain backgrounds that we have, someone who, let's just say, is living with, their significant other, or they may not be married, but they have children. And as long as they see that you have a family, and you're in a relationship, they think you've made it. Even if that relationship is not a good one and they can see it's not a good one, but because you're in a relationship, they will accept it. Versus someone who is single and they're focusing on themselves, they're focusing on their personal development and their goals and their dreams. And they may be, let's just say, over the age of 25, approaching 30, or over the age of 30, approaching 40. And because they don't have children, because they're single, they're looked down on. They're pitied in society, and people think that there's something wrong with that person, or they've wasted all their life, focused on whatever they were focusing on for personal development. And they start to treat that person as if they're an alien, as if they don't matter, just because they don't see that person in a relationship, or this person has been single for a while or for a long time or even their whole lives. And now all of a sudden, their love life is the main thing that they're worried about, even if they have accomplished way more than the average person. And so I just wanted to say, if you find yourself still single, you know, especially if you don't have any children, it's not the end of the world. I am a firm believer in the fact that whatever is meant to be for you will be for you at the perfect time, you know, and nobody can come and put an age, a deadline on when you should get married, when you should have children. It's like it's not fair, you know? And we all have our own lives to live. We all are supposed to go at our own pace, and to be comparing and contrasting, it's not good. It's not good for your mental health, it's not good for your soul, it's not good at all. We are not in competition with anyone. In fact, the only people that we should be in competition with is ourselves, to be better and to do better and to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And I just wanted to say that also there are pros and cons to everything. There are pros and cons to being in a relationship, being married, and having children. There are also pros and cons to being single and being without children, being unmarried, and so on. You know, the grass is not always greener on the other side. In fact, the grass is green wherever you water it, you know? Whether you are in a relationship and you're married, especially to the person of your dreams, there's still some challenges that you face there. But sometimes you have better days as well. Whether you're single right now and you don't have any children, you know, your grass is still green because your time is yours. You don't have to divide your time in half to please somebody else. You don't have to force yourself to settle down just because you're lonely. Even if you do feel lonely, it will pass. It's only like a moment of weakness. It's not a feeling that stays there forever. And it just, especially if you don't give it the power to control your whole life, you know. There are people who are also in relationships, who are also married, who also feel lonely, who feel like they're single, but they're in a relationship, or their partner acts like they're single, you know. There are people who are married and miserable. There are people who are married and happy. There are people who are single and miserable. There are people who are single and happy. Everything has its pros and cons. Every situation has its pros and cons. And I didn't want this video to be too long, but I will also say that the gifts of being single is that your time is yours, and you can do with it whatever you want to do with it. You have time to travel. You have time to go to college, even get a master's degree, a doctorate. You have time to learn new skills and to try new things because your time is yours and you're not in a rush to do anything. Another gift of being single is that you get to find out exactly who you are and what your purpose is. You get all that time in the world just to reinvent yourself, to rediscover who you are, especially if you have been dealing with setback after setback, like highs and lows, ups and downs, especially career wise. You're in a space right now where you don't have anyone's feelings to consider. You have your own feelings to consider. Therefore, you have all the time and energy in the world to put into rebuilding your life, rediscovering who you are and what you're supposed to be doing in your life, what you were born to do, you know? And also, another gift of being single is that you get to choose who you want your spouse to be, who you want your future spouse to be, in the sense that because you've spent time getting to know who you are and what you like, what you don't like, what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate, what your deal breakers are, and what your purpose is, what your vision is for your life, you won't choose the wrong person to spend your life with. Because you know who you are, you know who will fit into your life perfectly because you know who you are. It's like, how do these companies and brands know who to hire? It's because they know who they are. They know what their brand is all about. They know what they stand for. They know what their mission statement is. They know what their goals are, what their dreams are, and where they see themselves in 5, 10 years. Therefore, they know who the right candidates are and what they look like, what they have to bring to the table. The requirements that they set in order to hire someone, that is derived from knowing who they are as a company. Therefore, they know the right people, the right person to hire. That's the way it should be with us. We should know ourselves so well, so much, apart from the influence of society. We should know ourselves so much and be true to who we are so much, to the point where we know exactly what we want in a partner, and we will know whether that person's purpose aligns with our purpose because we know who we are. And all of that takes time. All of that takes healing as well, from past heartbreak, from trauma, drama. And it also takes us learning how to be patient as well. And in that patience and in that waiting period, we get to find out who we are, find out what we like, what we don't like, what we love, what we don't love. We get to find out what our true personality is and what our true purpose is, what our calling is, without the influence of society. Therefore, when the right time comes to find this person, when our paths do cross, we will choose wisely because we did the work in our singleness to work on ourselves. Therefore, the next person that we get with, or even the first person that we get with, will be the right one because the work was done and now we get to play hard, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, this was just some encouragement and motivation to those who are still single. Let's just say they've been in and out of relationships, and they find themselves still single, or especially for those who have never been in a relationship before and you find yourself still single, and you're approaching the 30 years old mark, even the 40 years old mark, even over the age of 40, and you find yourself still single, still without children, and people are looking at you as if you're wasting your life, you're wasting your time. You don't know what you're doing with your life just because you don't have a partner there beside you. You could have all these degrees, you could have overcame so much trauma and drama, and you could have accomplished things that you didn't even think were possible for you to accomplish, but because you don't have a partner beside you, you're a loser, you're unwanted, or it's too late. No one wants you. You will never be in a relationship. No, they're wrong. Especially if you're single and you're doing the necessary work to heal and not just to become a better person for your future spouse, your future significant other, but to become a better person for yourself. If you're doing that, and deep down inside, you know that even though it's taking long because I'm doing the right thing, deep down inside, your gut is telling you that you're doing the right thing. Even though it's a hard decision to stay single in a world that is forcing you to be with someone, even if you're settling, it's hard living in this world with society as loud as society's voice is. But when you know what you're doing to be right and to be authentic deep down inside, I would say continue, because hard work does pay off. And don't listen to anybody treating you weirdly or saying all these things, making all these smart remarks and these jokes that have truth in them, just ridiculing you for the decision that you've made to stay single until you're absolutely 100% sure that the next one will be the best one. And people don't understand that decision. They don't know, they don't understand what singleness is. They think it's a waste of time. They think it's a curse, a disease that you have to cure with a relationship, especially marriage. Don't listen to these people. Listen to yourself and be true to who you are. And I promise you will attract who you are naturally. That is the law of attraction. Whether you believe it is God, it is the creator, it is the universe, it is nature, mother nature, or it's simply the law of attraction. What you put in is what you will get out. You will attract who you are naturally, and it will be the best thing ever because you did it the right way. You worked on yourself. You took the time to work on what was important to you. And when your significant other comes into the picture, that person will be the best for you because you did the necessary work to work on yourself and to stay true to who you are despite society telling you just to get someone, to hurry up, get someone, get married, have children, the end. Our lives do not revolve around getting a man, getting a woman, getting into a relationship, getting married. Those things are nice, those things are very special. But if it hasn't happened for you yet, that means it's not supposed to happen yet. Even if you see people in your circle, whether it's your friends, siblings, family members, people out there in the world, celebrities especially, people on Instagram and the rest of these social media channels, when you see people posting, you know, the engagement ring, the viral weddings, and all these things, don't get discouraged because, as people say, people like to put up their highlight reel, but they don't post what goes on behind closed doors. So I wanted to encourage you to stay strong and stay true to who you are until you are sure once again that the next one is the best one. And while you wait, continue to level up emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, financially, professionally, socially, any other Lee. Continue to level up and to be true to you, and your hard work will pay off. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.